I just had to clean something from the background because I don't know. I feel like if you saw something, it was really just like a Walmart bag, but I feel like if someone saw that, then they would think that I was like dirty or something. So I had to clean it off. Anyway, we're playing Cookie Clicker while I tell you oddly humbling things. Let's dig in. I actually used to be a Cookie Clicker god in, I think, maybe like the eighth grade freshman year. I had over a trillion cookies. Not to brag, not to brag. First on my list, starting off strong, is kids bucking at you. You must be such a bad kid if you're bucking at a random stranger, specifically in public, because that's the only time they're actually doing that. Where do you even gain the confidence to do that to someone? Because you know exactly what you're doing and you know that it's bad because it's never around their parents. I've personally been a victim and a witness to a kid doing this. One time when my friend was dropping me off at my house, going into the neighborhood, there was just like these group of kids hanging out. And I assumed like this was like the youngest brother or something. He really tiny. He turns over to us, looks at my friend in the driver's seat, and bucks at her, which I don't even know why he did that because we're the ones in the car. One swerve, you're done. You and your family, you're done. I can't even comprehend doing that to someone, even normally. Like, I was never that kind of kid to just like test someone's limits out in public. The time I was victim to a kid doing this was actually pretty recently at a TJ Maxx, of course, because that's where all the baddest kids reside. I was just walking down an aisle. I looked down, tiniest kid I've ever seen in my entire life. I kid you not. And he looks up at me. He one gives me a stank eye, like, and then he bucks at me. And then I'm like, let's not mess with this little fella. So I started to like kind of walk off. Not only did this kid do it once, he did it a second time. He looked back at me and did it again. I knew that he was just like trying to like test how far he could go because his mom was just like looking in Iraq, like looking in Iraq. Guys, we upgraded. 2 cursors. Let's do one more. Hey, 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 hey. We have 15 cursors. Let's go. Whenever kids do that, it's really funny, one, and really interesting. Because where did you get that? Like, I don't even want to blame on the parents, like, oh, bad parenting. But kids are just kids. Like, they'll just do anything. Number two on my list of humbling thoughts is being easily influenced. Maybe this is just me because I have a shopping addiction, but whenever I see an ad or like a commercial and I do end up buying like the product they're selling to me, I feel so dumb. Like, you really got me. Like, you really got into the deepest parts of my mind and convinced me that I needed this product that I didn't need. Because all advertisements, they're all schemes, they're all psychological schemes to get into your mind. This is the same person that thought for the entirety of middle school that she was in her own personal Truman Show. Don't listen to me, like, honestly. Third on my list is not being able to perfect a craft. Like, it's so humbling. Like, what do you mean that I couldn't, like, build the Eiffel Tower in a week just off a YouTube video? Everyone else is doing it. Like, everyone else can do it. Like, grandma can do it here. She can do it twice. I feel like such a failure when I can't do something first try. No experience, no glue, no borax. I honestly don't know what number we're on, but not finishing a movie. This one is definitely just like the film bro in me. But whenever I don't complete a movie, I feel like I'm letting a man somewhere out in the universe with a better letterbox than me go at me, and it makes me like barbaric. Like, I feel insane. I don't know why I think that. Even with like the lamest movies. I didn't like Whiplash. I think last on my list is not being able to keep up with trends. Maybe this is just me because I'm not on social media much, but whenever like a friend references something that sounds so bizarre and it actually just ends up being like a silly little TikTok audio, it's even more humbling when like you have to ask them like, "Oh, like what is that video? Like can you show me the video? Can you show me the audio?" And they don't.
So you hate me!
You hate me! Guys, I can be freaking hip too. It is actually impossible to tell what is relevant and relatable at the moment. Like, I'm still referencing Chocolate Rain from 2007. You know, all of these different experiences, they really ground who we are as people.
Yeah,
Right,
right,
right.
right.
Whether it's the ones I listed off, or maybe you had a little idea of something that is humbling. So instead of brooding on it in shame and embarrassment, lock yourself in your room and play Cookie Clicker. I'm sure I'll be at a trillion cookies by next week.